Hello Scuba team, heading off on the 14th of May, all very exciting, it's getting pretty close now. My name is Millie Whitehead. I've spoken to quite a few of you over the recent few months, and today in fact chasing quite a few of you on your flights. So all good. I just put this little video together just to run through some points, just to make sure everyone's clear about what's happening, where to go and what to take. So draw up a pen and paper, sit it down, have a cup of tea, and let's get going. So, team size. Right now, there is 11 of you, which is a lovely number. By the time, and there's quite a few people here who are still undecided, so I think by the time we get going, there probably would be about 14, 15 of you, which will be fab. You're all going to arrive in San Jose on the 14th of May. Now, everybody's going to fly in and be picked up from San Jose from the airport. For the three of you who are already in Costa Rica, we will talk, email individually and work out a plan whether it's best to go to San Jose or straight to Quipos, to the families down there, depending on where you are beforehand. So we will talk about that. Boring admin, your insurance, okay, Battleface, INS, and DANS. I know it's so overwhelming that you've got to have three, but actually there's no way around it because each one covers you for something different. The Battleface is your UK insurance. Will and Eileen, you will have a different because you're coming from the Netherlands and from the US, but we'll talk about that. But for everyone in the UK, you need the Battleface. That is your bog standard travel insurance, which, you know, if you lose your bags, you need repatriating, you get ill, whatever, that's where you claim on. The INS, that is the Costa Rican government insurance, you just have to have it, okay? It's one of their their rules to enter the country is for your insurance to cover you for travel disruption due to COVID. And lo and behold, theirs is the only one that does. So you have to buy it. And actually, you know, if you do get COVID and you do have to isolate for 10 days, they will actually cover that. So it does have its benefits. DANS clearly is a year's subscription for scuba insurance, and that is just the best scuba insurance you can get, and our guys over there that run the scuba program just want everybody to have that because they know it well and it works like a dream should anything go wrong. Not that it will. Your scuba equipment, please take everything that is on the scuba list. There are a few scuba people out there at the moment that are wanting to sell their stuff. So if you haven't bought it and you're interested in buying bits and bobs from the team that's currently out there, send me an email at millie@theleap.co.uk and I will link you in with them. Just reading my list. The other thing that might not be on the kit list in general is earplugs. Top tip from the group out there now, especially if you're in the homestay, which is up in the forest, because apparently it's really noisy and the birds start screeching about 3 in the morning. So if you're a light sleeper, earplugs, really useful. So how it works on the ground. Kat and Georgia are our two lovely girls that are in charge of the whole program. They are scuba pros and they are in charge of running the whole conservation project, which is combining the scuba shop and everything that you're going to be doing. So they have pulled it together and they are fantastic. Quipos, where you're going to be based, is a sweet little harbour town. It's got a little harbour front with very kind of, you know, gorgeous luxury boats, speedboats, yachts, and this, that, and the other. It's all very stylish there. That's where the scuba shop is based. That's where you'll be going every morning to get organised. You will be living in a homestay environment with there's three houses that we're going to divide you up into, and you're going to be looked after by the Costa Rican mamas, who are fabulous, and they've been looking after our gappers since January, so they are trained. Their English is getting better, but basically they're gorgeous, they're kind, they talk really fast, they cook you delicious homemade Costa Rican food to get ready for lots of beans. They will try and cook you English food if you ask, but I think one person tried that and it was a disaster. They gave you pasta with their beans. So just stick with what they give you. They are going to be giving you breakfast and supper every night. Lunches are extra, and there's a lovely little cafe next to the Scuba shop where everybody goes to get a panini, a milkshake, whatever you want. So it's super easy. They are pretty strict in that it is a family. They've all had kind of their own double, they've had their COVID injections, so they're not worried about that. But, you know, they just want to kind of run a really nice, comfortable, calm house. So to prevent kind of chaos, they just, you know, you'd have to take your shoes off before you enter the house, be polite, which I know you will be, but, you know, have supper with them. And what they really don't like is kind of crazy kind of partying within the house. That's a kind of no, you'll learn that pretty quickly. Other places to do that. Just looking at my notes, hold fire. So a typical day. Oh, just back in the house. You will be divided up into a boys' house, girls' house, and maybe a mixed house, depending on the bedrooms, configurations. In the houses, they're cold showers, but there's a hot shower at the dive centre. But it's so hot and sweaty out there, cold is good. Single beds, they do your laundry. They have, they provide you with towels. But because you're doing the scuba, you'll see towels need to be turned around so fast in the laundry, so it's always best to take at least 2 so you are prepared. And it would be really nice, especially if you're not if you're already in Costa Rica, but if you're coming from England or from the Netherlands, to take a little gift, just something from home. They love that. They love that. Your typical day. You're up early, scuba team. It's kind of 6:30, 7 o'clock start. Early breakfast, straight down to, you know, start your first dive. There is so much clobber, you know, getting the gear on and getting on the boats and getting out. So it's an early start. Lunch and then supper is about 7:38. So it's a kind of a long day. You're diving, you're working Monday to Friday, and the aim that you're in the water for 4 of those 5 days. So you have 3 days off gas. That's apparently really important. So just be mindful of that. Attached to this email are 2 PADI forms, which would be really useful if you could fill in online and then email to Kat. Her email is attached or written in the email. So she's got them and can set you up with all your PADI documentation before you arrive. Most of you are PADI beginners, so that's fantastic. You'll all be learning together, and there is a vast selection of kind of international dive instructors who are going to be in charge of you for the first 8 days while you get your PADI open water and advanced diving. And then when you get into the kind of the science or the coral gardening, which is fascinating, by the way, Kat and Georgia kind of take over with that alongside the divers. So you will meet a medley of great, gorgeous, inspiring people. General living, money, ATMs everywhere, one in Quipos. So don't try and get the local currency out before you go. Just don't do that. You can maybe sensible to take a few dollars just in your wallet, but you know, when you're there, use the ATM to get the local currency out. Small amounts kind of often, or not so often. Monzo and Revolut cards work, which are brilliant. Health and safety, there are doctors locally, which are brilliant. Anywhere is easily nipped down, and you know everything is sorted. You know, the most common problems the divers have are earache, ear infections. So you know, if you get a tickle in your ear, you know, don't ignore it. That is just something you can jump on and heal really, really quickly. Now I'm going to talk about the COVID. Yes, everyone's favourite topic of conversation, and I know everyone's bored rigid about it, but it is really important, especially for the Scuba team, because if you get a sniffle, you're going to have to get tested for COVID, because if you were to have an accident and it was proved that you have COVID, then there could be a problem with your insurance, because it's dangerous to dive with COVID. If you have COVID, then we have to get you medically tested again so that you can restart your diving. Something we totally want to avoid, and it is avoidable. Well, it's not avoidable, but we can, if we work together, we can minimize the risk. So for those coming from the UK, really want you to just really keep a low profile in the 7 days before you go. Then you're going to get your PCR test to get onto the flight, and away you go. For those that are freewheeling around Costa Rica, I'm talking to you individually about a strategy for that, and I know together we can work it. When you're on the program, this is what some of the groups fail to recognize, is that you are a elite bubble. You've got your social life. You've got the social life of each other, of all the divers, and that is fab. So just enjoy that. But nipping off and going to the crazy hostels up the road, which are full of transient backpackers who have been in Tamarindo and places, that is a potential risk, and we really, really want to avoid that. So everybody needs to work together and be responsible for each other and to work as a team. That is the only way. We have to have everybody on board. So it would just be great if you could all just think, right, okay, I'm not going to let the site down. So play as your bubble. You will have a great time, and you will minimize the risk so the program can carry on for the full 4 weeks. Okay? Other than that, we are here, as you know, Monday to Friday to answer any questions. Give us a call, and we wish you a fantastic, fantastic trip. Have fun.